your shoulder makes your skin crawl. And we only come alive after nightfall. I've been singing in the shadows, slipping through the streets. Roll up right beside you, I'll right to my feet. Something's right behind you, hope that it's not me. Something's right behind you.
We got our man here, Austin, long up in here, coming here with the spice. Just let everybody know, this man went to nationals, was swiping everybody, undefeated, and then he just got his luck of the draw.
Yeah, bad beats day 2. Like I said before, recommend this deck day 1. Best deck in the room day 2. Probably shouldn't play it. You know, if you can sleep with the second deck and you can play that day 2, I think that's the way to go. But no, yeah, we were cooking people for sure. Played Mannadium. If you don't know, Mannadium. For the people around here at least. The event was good. Shout out to my boy Tyler, absolutely.
Thank you, appreciate it.
He was also cooking there for a while on day 1.
I was.
Day 1.
And
Heroes got through too. I know.
Bro,
yeah, I know.
Oh my God, I was pumped watching that. I was like, this ain't real. I should have played Heroes.
I should have. Yeah, got to stick to what you love.
That is true. That is true.
But yeah, so we'll go ahead and start with it. Of course, obviously, you have your 3.
Look at him.
Your
He's
boys.
clean. Look at him.
Yeah, that's why I was cooking people, is because my deck costs more.
You can't respond to visas. You got the same ready?
Yeah, the Starlight say you can't respond. So 3 visas, it's absolutely mandatory. You got to see it. It's the most important part. And then you have 3 Rum Heart, also just mandatory. Allows you to like play around a lot of cool things like Fenrir with this card. There's a lot of outplay potential. He has an ability that you target a Mannadium card, a face-up Mannadium monster, or a 1521 that you control. You can pop it to special summon him. So a lot of the time against like Cash specifically, they will shotgun their Fenrir on your, like you'll normal summon one, him or Rykart, and they'll shotgun their Fenrir on them because they're trying to get the card off the field so you can't summon anything. So you can outplay it by just popping it. Same with Vanquish. So anything that targets Rumheart becomes instantly better against, just because he can like remove the card they target. And then you have 3 Meek, 3 of the ball.
Meek Mills.
Yeah, Meek Mill, baby. Had the club jumping. Didn't play Fearless. Fearless was bad, in my opinion at least. It helps you make Nat Beast, but I don't need to make Nat Beast with what I'm doing. So it's the best one. It becomes level 8. It's pretty much searchable through every card in my deck. So I never anytime I wanted to see this card, I could always get to it. And then something that I was doing a little bit differently that most Mannadium lists weren't was I had 3 Rykart in my deck.
3 of them things?
Yeah, 3 of this guys.
Oh my
so
God.
He's the best normal summon because if they hand trap him, he allows you to extend. He plays through any hand trap, whereas Rumheart doesn't. If they have Van Perm or they Veiler or they Ash your Rumheart and you don't have an extender, you just lose because he just sits on your board and you don't do anything. Whereas this guy, like if they do that, at least you can link him off into the Link 1. Link 1 gets you Field Spell, you can continue to play. There's also other cool applications with this card that, with like Shadow's Light, which is what I was playing, the Spice. So that him being dark is very important too. That's another reason we played 3. And then as far as the 1-ofs, you had 1 Prisma, 1 Destrudo, and then 1 Christia.
What?
Yeah. So this is pretty obvious. The deck lacks 1-card combos. So this kind of fixes that. It's not like a really great one. It gives you Apo plus Baron, but it's like board presence that you can immediately establish if all you do is top deck a card. This card is a pseudo extender, helps you make Ancient Fairy, which is in the extra deck, which allows you to search the Secret Village.
AKA, you ain't playing the game.
Yeah, you ain't playing spells. And then this card, this is like your typical Shadow's Light target most of the time. If you hard draw it, you can summon it off Saryuja. But there's also it's very possible that you can actually just hard summon this. If you go through the combo right, you should have 3 Meek in your graveyard, and then you'll have 1 Astrolaud, which Astrolaud's also a fairy. And all you need is 4 fairies to slam them. So there is times where you can I actually did it during against a Dino player I played. I counted my fairies out. I was like, this is legal, and then I slammed it down. So
Scoop it up, baby. Scoop it up.
That was all for the engine, I guess you would say. And then you had the defensives. I played 3 Bell because this deck, Bestials are scary. I need my Visas in the graveyard. So I thought Bell was correct. It was also good against Despia. I was worried about that matchup because Mirror Jade specifically doesn't target. So you can't do the Rumheart play I was talking about. you're just gonna summon your Rumheart and they're gonna banish that.
Yeah, it's gonna be
so
bye-bye.
Despia was a very scary matchup for me in that sense. If I win the dice roll, it shouldn't be that bad theoretically, but if I don't, I need this so I don't get puppeted. And then the last three, all right, as far as monster cards, is 3 Ash Blossom. Just the best generic one. You have to have it because Branded, I felt like, was going to be represented. It's got decent, it's pretty good against most matchups. So that's it for the monsters. It's like 22, I think, 21, 22. I think it's 21. But and then on for spells, you have 3 of your field spell. This field spell is so good and so bad at the same time. It makes all of your light monsters gain 100 attack for each tuner. So if you like Ash or Bell your opponent during your turn or during their turn, and then you play this card and you add Rumheart, you have to understand that you can't summon Meek. Like Meek doesn't change it for Visas because Meek specifically says Visa Starfrost, not a 15/21. So that's the way you play around it. But the fact that it does that is so weird. It's also why I decided to max out on Rykarts too, because if I do hand trap my opponent, Rykart still allows me to summon my Meeks because he doesn't get the buff. This card does buff Christia as well, which is funny enough. Yeah.
Christia just big.
Yeah, Christia is like 29, 3K most of the time. And then you had 2 Abscission and then 1 Imagining. I didn't want to brick on this card. This card is crazy though. It's your extender, your pseudo extender. It's a terraforming most of the time. And then if you already open the field spell or a way to it, it gets you this card. This card was crazy. It allows you to put bricks back in from your deck, from your hand to your deck. So like if you draw like Arrival, if you draw like Prisma, or if you draw Christia and you have Shadow's Light and you want to put it back, you can do all that stuff with this card. So I love this ratio. I don't think I would change it. I do like Abscission a lot, and I sometimes I wish that I could play a third just because the card is that good. But if you open multiple of them, it's very bad. So I think leaving it at 2 and 1 is just fine. And then for the Scareclaw stuff, you had 1 Arrival and 1 Field Spell. I never wanted more of these. If I draw it, like the times that I drew these cards, if I could play, I would put them back with this. That way they're like pseudo. They're not. This is the one that sucks to draw because you don't get to draw a card off of right card. But this one's not that bad. You can just save the light heart, or you make it and just no effect. So this is good. These cards are crazy as well. And then because we're playing Prisma, obviously we have to play 3 Hero Lives.
Look at them bad boys. This is beautiful.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I was summoning Prisma all day.
So
yeah, but like I said, the deck needs like a powerful 1-card combo, and then this is what it gives. And then the MVP of the week.
Shadow's about to go crazy.
Yeah, so this is what I believe pushed the deck over the top to be playable. I think the deck was good still, but like it lacked like the oomph. The problem was that the Scareclaw stuff would never get you to Mannadium cards. The Mannadium cards would always get you to the Scareclaw stuff because it would get you to Visas. Visas would get you to Lightheart, but it never worked vice versa. So if you open like right, that's why you would only play 2 right card or 1 right card. Is because if you open right card, it couldn't get you to Meek. It couldn't get you to Rumheart. Well, with this card, it does. You just target right card. If you can't combo, you use this card, target your right card, summon your Rumheart from deck. Like I said before, 85% of the time this card is summoning Christia, not 85 to 90, but like just the fact that it has the pseudo flexibility of being like a combo piece.
To be like a branch between the two.
Yeah, the branch. It's like is phenomenal.
It's like a bootleg small war right there.
It literally basically.
Light darts.
And you don't have to get rid of the monster too. Like with duality, you have to tribute the monster. You get to keep your monster, so it's like even better. It has a graveyard effect too to give you an additional normal summon, and both effects you can use both effects on the same turn. So the card's crazy. And then for more defensives, because I wanted a couple more outs to like Rise Heart specifically. That was like the bane of this deck. So I played Talents. This card's also just good to like give me information. It's good. Every time I saw this card, it was crazy. Every time I resolved, I won. So this card is crazy. I'd probably leave it at 2. I didn't really like. I saw it a decent amount. And then as far as 1-ofs, you have 1 called by, because Drawing Lockbird absolutely rails this deck.
It goes
the deck can play under Shifter. Now you can't really do like the full combo, but you can play under Shifter and end on a pretty decent board. You cannot play through Droll though. Most of the time you're going to get Drolled, you're just going to lose. So this card, I end up moving it to the main because of that. 1 Rhoda, just because consistency. This card is Right Card or Rum Heart or Prisma if you need that. So, and then the last card is Secret Village of the Spellcasters.
You want to play spells?
That's right, yeah. So the deck's board loses to Dark Roller. That was like the theory, or like with if I'm Christianing you, it's like Book of Moon or a way to out Christia. Because usually the end board is like Baron, Christia, Dark or Secret Village, and then like this pattern. And I was like, the card that I'm worried about is like any spell, like power spells can still beat that board. So I was like, how do I do that? How do I stop that? And it was Secret Village. It's searchable via Ancient Fairy, because you're always going to have a field spell on your turn, like in rotation. So yeah, this card was crazy. Every time I played it down, they basically scooped it up.
Scoop it up, baby. Scoop it up.
And then the last little bit was just three traps. It was 3 Imperm. This was kind of falls in the same category as Talents. I just wanted another card that beat a Rise Heart. This card, very solid. If you draw it going first, it's a good hand trap that doesn't play into Talents or Thrust. And that was also important because I was worried about those cards this weekend. So yeah, I really enjoyed these cards too. The main deck was 43 cards. So like I said, last 3, I was like, I chucked the Imperms in. I was like, I gotta play something to out the Rise Heart. And then on for the extra deck, we'll run through the synchros. And then like, I'll kind of explain after that. So for 6s, you have Muddy Mud. For a 7, you have Ancient Fairy. For 8s, you have Stardust or Excel Synchro Stardust, and then Stardust Dragon.
Beautiful. Look at it.
Yeah. No ghost, but I like ultis more anyway.
I want to be able to see the card. You know?
Facts. Yeah, I want them to know what's happening. For 10s, you had Baron, Dispatter, and Chaos Angel. These are just the best 10s. Didn't really miss anything else. Like I wouldn't play is it Rumhard or the big level 10 guy? I wouldn't play him. Ice Jade Gamir, I wouldn't play her. Chinying was a possibility, but he didn't, like in testing it, it never came up. Like my guards are already big enough. I like Astral Out is removal, so I don't really need that. These are just the best of the best. This is the combo. This protects you from losing to like Imperm. And then this card, if your hand is like super weird and you get hand trapped a bunch and you don't have like Shadow's Light, what I would typically try to do is like end on him and like Dispatter. And like ending on this guy is cool because it doesn't play into thrusts or talents, because you can just sit there. They have to like until they play a card that outs this card. And that's kind of why like I did with the Christia as well. Like if I would end on like Christia in that, until they play a card that outs Christia, I don't activate this just because I don't want to play into those cards. But yeah, that was it for the synchros. I would say though, I would add a Omega to it. That would be the card that I would add. I wouldn't cut any of these. I would cut a Fusion after playing, but Omega definitely would be in the list afterwards.
Get that double hand rip.
Yeah, do the hand rip stuff. For links, you have Lightheart, self-explanatory. It's part of the combo. Same with Cross Sheep. This card's crazy in this deck. I get to Fusion summon whenever I want. So, and a lot of people don't know that this has a secondary effect. If you have a Synchro that it points to, it buffs all your guys permanently by 700 attack. So, you're able to kill people.
Swing. Yeah, it's nasty. I think when we played, you did that. It's lethal.
Yeah. Apo, just for like some of the weird things. Didn't make it a whole bunch, but like like when you're doing the Shadows Light play, typically you'll make this with like 3 materials. You'll summon the Astral out, and then you'll summon Christia. That way it protects the Shadows Light from Ash and stuff. So you don't have to waste like your Baron Negate or anything like that. And then last one is Saryuja. So Saryuja was very important because if you the inboard of like Apo, Dispatter, and all that stuff just isn't strong enough most of the time. So I wanted to like make something that like I wanted to be able to dig. And if I open Christie, I wanted to be able to summon it, which is what this does. So this is like also part of the combo. I think if you play it right, you get to draw 7 cards. Like if your hand allows it, 4 from him, 2 from Imagining, and 1 from Reichardt. So like you're digging through your deck while also deck thinning. So like typically you're gonna hit something good, or like if you don't hit her like Christie or Shadows Light, you're gonna hit a bunch of hand traps. So that was it for the links, and then on for the fusions, it was 1 Albion. This is the card I would cut for Omega. It helps make this. So like in certain scenarios, you'll make this with the Mud Dragon. This will then banish the cards from the graveyard to make the Grand Granole, which is next. So you'd make the Grand Granole next, and it gives you an extra body to link off to make the Saryuja with 4. The other cool thing that like I was theorying that didn't really come up this weekend was that if you like get interrupted on your like Stardust Excel and you can't make the Excel, this card is also a level 8 dragon, so you can make Disc Patter with it. Which like the deck can't make Disc Patter outside of Excel if you don't play this. But yeah, Grand Granola is crazy. This is the main card that you're fusion summoning for Muddy Mud to make. It's a spellcaster, so it locks. It makes Secret Village live. It sends Destrudo, which means you basically get to search Secret Village. And then if you already open Destrudo or Secret Village, this card just sends Visas. So it's like, yeah. So there's like other. It's not like if you open the Destrudo, it's dead. It's like you just send the Visas. And then the last two is 2 Astrolaud. You have to play 2 of this card. It's mandatory. One to trigger the Cross Sheep, and the other to make to like Shadow's Light. This card's crazy. It's free as hell.
This deck is disgusting.
Yeah, not once per turn to pop. Allows you to push through boards. Allows you to kill people. This is like everything you want in a Yu-Gi-Oh card that doesn't say negate. I like this card. This is one of the reasons I decided to play the deck as well. So yeah. So that was the extra. Then on to the side. On the side, we were worried about Labyrinth. We were worried about Branded. We were worried about Kashtira, and then the Runic Furhire deck. Those are like the ones that I was like, oh, and Rika, because I tested against Rika going into it. So the side kind of reflects all of that. So we had 3 Magnemite and 1 Drewsworm. These were so we didn't get puppeted. They're pseudo extenders in matchups they're good in because they're level 6 dragons, so they allow you to make Stardust. They allow you, like, if your Mika's level 4, they allow you to make Disc Patter. You can add, like, this card specifically, you can, like, summon it, Absession it. So you eat a card on their graveyard. Hopefully it interrupted their combo. You Absession, which means this card says add planet, and then you send a special summon monster. So
one card just said,
yeah,
break your form
yeah, basically. So yeah, these were good. 1 Dino Wrestler Pankratops. This isn't out to Floodgates mainly in my head. It's a level 7 that doesn't activate, that puts pressure on the board. It helps against cash because you just special it. You can kill the Fenrir, or they're gonna try to banish it if you go battle phase. But like this allows you to out of Rise Heart because it tributes for cost. So and gets the body off the field so they can't trigger Fenrir. So this card was good. But like I said, most of the time it was like if they had like anti-spell. Summon Limit goes in specifically ruins this deck. Skill Drain, so like this card would, in theory, wasn't out to all of those. It didn't come up during the event, but I only played like 1 Labyrinth. So, but and in theory, like testing it, it came up a lot, and I liked it a lot. So I wouldn't change it. And then on for spells, we had 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Cosmic Cyclone for back row hate. Like I said, I was terrified of Labyrinth, terrified of Floodgates. These cards are crazy. I think they were mandatory. 3 Dark Rulers. So I don't love this card because this deck can kill you. But I felt like in this format, you had to have this. Testing against the Rika deck, they put up like Rose Whip, Regulus, 27 interactions with tributing your monster. So it was like you needed this to play through that board. The Runic Furhire deck, if they pop off and you don't have a hand trap, you need this to like play through the board.
Yeah. Did you play any Sprite?
Yes, Sprite did not come in. This didn't matter against the Sprite player because he eradicated me.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't draw it, but he did eradicator me, so it didn't matter in that matchup. Against Cash though, this would come in because like I said, you just want to stop the Arise Heart from banishing your stuff. So this card was mandatory. And then another board breaker, evenly matched again for trap decks. For like Branded too, as long as they don't puppet you, which I had Bells and Bestial, so hopefully they weren't puppeting me. But yeah. And then the last card was the Counter Trap Mannadium reframing, or Mannadium reframing, I'm sorry. I didn't want to main it because my inboard's strong enough already, and this isn't a combo piece, this is a brick. It prevents you from comboing. But game like 2 if I lose, or game 3, it gives you like another searchable out. Like typically you want to make like Baron and have this set, so that way if they have like double evenly you don't lose, or if they have like imperm evenly you still play, like your board's still fine.
Yeah, just another layer of interaction.
Yeah, and like if you get shifted specifically as well, this is a card you can search that gives you an interaction. Like if I got shifted, my inboard was typically like Disc Patter, Baron, revive the Rumheart, and set this card, and then it was like that's enough to win. So
sick
but
list,
yeah,
man. Sick.
yeah, absolutely.
I know you're still playing this come the next set.
Yeah, once Dune comes out, we'll have a deck profile. Hopefully I can get it to you a little early. Hopefully I can get like the cards at the sneak peek and we can have one. I also know a lot of people have been like asking me to show the combo. So there's not really a combo with it. I mean, there is like a 2-card combo that gets you like a secret village lock, but the deck is very fluid. It's very much like you just kind of play with what you open. There's a lot of lines. So I told them that I would be making, like that I was gonna get with Tyler and like test hand a few times. So that'll probably be something in the future, like or on like a Friday night, like on stream, I can get on beforehand and do a little test hands to show.
Absolutely.
That way you can kind of see how the deck is supposed to function.
100%.
But yeah, the deck's great. It's very hard. You got to put a lot of time into it. It's not a deck you can just like pick up and like start playing. There's a lot of cool lines that you have to learn. The deck is rewarding though. It's fun. Let's see if there's anything else. Like shout outs to TTD. Shout outs to
the massive locals we got. Oh my god.
Biggest locals in the States.
It's massive.
Yeah. Shout outs to Tyler again for having a great channel.
Thank you. We
Always
appreciate it, baby. Big thumbs up.
And doing well himself.
We try. We're gonna keep it up.
Shout
We're
out-
definitely gonna put it next year.
Yeah, shout outs to Rain, my boy. Shout
Rain
outs-
on Mac over. Look at the group. We got Wednesday locals going on.
Yeah, Wednesday, 30 man locals. Shout out to Kai for helping me theory craft the deck. Shout out to Joe, Elijah Green, Clifton Land, Eric Worth, Eric Horner for all traveling with me, Michael Cole for getting on that sketchy ass flight with us too.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Shout outs to everyone who went from Kentucky and everyone who's messaged me, saying great things, being all super nice about the deck as well.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully at Indy we see y'all again.
Also, we're gonna make a note to the guy when this man was cooking us on the 3v3 that said Mannadium isn't that great. This
Hey.
man was waxing people at Nationals.
Yeah, that's right. If he wants to come up to, I forgot who it was.
I don't remember either.
But if you want to come up, we can
get your hand at it.
Yeah. You can come try and play too. Don't worry. These hands are ready to be for everyone. We give them to them.
Thank you.
Like a spider